Real quick before the video starts, just letting you guys know that we are having a Manus Day giveaway at 6,000 subs. I'm going to pick somebody random in the comments. That's all I have to say, guys. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Hey guys, Agamatsu here, and we're going to be covering the Rogue Lineage Iceberg. Let's just jump into it. M2 can be parried. I'm pretty sure this is just referring to how you can perfect block the M2. You can catch Tal as he's running away. In the Sea of Dust, if you find Tal, you can pay him a certain amount of silver and, well, he'll throw pocket sand in your face, and you can actually go up to him and catch him. Ferryman dialogue changes depending on how you died. Let's just say, for example, that you burned to death or you fell to your death and you wiped. He will give you a different dialogue depending on that. Day 15 Casperins take reduced slash damage. This is just racial progression for a Casperin. It's nothing really special. Seraph race. This is referring to a developer race besides Revolu that has Gate and Tomeless. Nothing really too special about it because not really many people have it. Ability stacking. I believe this is referring to move stacking, you know, like how you can punch after you use Shadow Fan or lethality. Being banned sends you to a jail dimension. So when you get banned in Rogue Lineage, it sends you to somewhere called Rogue Lineage Prison. It didn't used to do that before, but it now does. Seer Edict obtainment method. Seer Edict was leaked like in January, and it wasn't the exact method, but it was pretty close to how you could get it, and well, that began the spread of all people having edicts. Castellans can have 3 snaps. I'm not so sure on why it says 3 snaps, because I'm pretty sure they only get 2 free snaps, you know, the one everybody gets, and then, you know, the racial progression or the racial ability of Castellan, but I assume that might be a typo. Diamond enchant is useless. I believe this is referring to the fact that Diamond enchant doesn't really do too much for you, or it's not as useful as a Ruby or a Sapphire enchant, or even an Emerald enchant. K-Map is from Tales from the Valley. I'm pretty sure this one is just referring to the fact that a lot of these two places share the exact same names. So an example would be like Calvi's Throne, exact same as Tales from the Valley, and that's why people say it's from Tales from the Valley. Rolling reduces fall damage. If you actually press Q right before you take a lot of fall damage, you can actually reduce how much you take. I don't know the physics of why this happens, it just does. Florian race. So this is actually like an unobtainable race. Even though Revolu got Seraph, this one is unobtainable by nobody. It can only be given to people. Nothing really too special about it. It has like some special armor, flower for a head, but that's all you really need to know. Healer Edict obtainment method. This was actually leaked like a couple months back. All you gotta do is just like feed potions, get different snap spells, you know, it's just a variety of things. Nothing too special about this either. Trans rights flag in Gaia. So there's actually a flag on the tower on the wall. Basically it just says trans rights are human rights. Nothing too interesting about this one either. Superclass hybrids. This is really referring to the fact that you can get 2 superclasses in Gaia, and it's called a hybrid. The existence of armors other than assassin and ultra class armors. This one actually is probably the most interesting one on this list. There's actually armors in the game that allow you to, for example, block Ignis, Skeletus, and like Tenebris, which is very interesting to me. Helion Breakthrough. Helion Breakthrough was an old Akuma move that players used to have back in the day. It would buff the player temporarily and make them pretty much go crazy and stupid, insane even. The Burial Grounds Dragon. There actually used to be a Sand Dragon back in the Burial Grounds. However, it was removed due to it being buggy. K is a prequel to Tales from the Valley. I can see where this is coming from because of the shared names, but other than that, I don't really see much other connections because, you know, well, it's 2 very different games, and a lot of the Uber world looks a lot different than Tales from the Valley. There's a lot more, Tales from the Valley is a lot more grounded in my opinion. Prince Pinky. Prince Pinky was a lore character that, you know, used to be the Prince of Scroomville. However, he has not really been seen in quite a while, and there's actually been a recent amount of people asking for a new prince. Blade Master Edict's final ability. It is not much known on what Blade Master Edict's final ability is because, well, nobody has it. This is what is assumed, of course, but nobody's actually ever seen it. It's only been predicted or theorized to have been like these chains that come down and like grab you. Groupus used to be for all classes. I'm not necessarily sure what this is referring to, but maybe it's referring to the fact that you didn't need Tomeless to use it. I'm not so sure about this one. Gaia Hidden White Room. There's actually a hidden room in Gaia that you can go to, and it's like an NPC looking at a computer that says Rogue Lineage. That's all there really is to this one. Ferryman special dialogue if you're a Seraph. I'm not too positive about this one because I was trying to look up screenshots and nothing really pulled up, but it can be assumed that, well, if you're a Seraph, you're probably going to get a different dialogue. You get out of exploiter jail by waiting out your sentence. This is currently unknown because, well, the timer is 15 years long. However, I wouldn't be surprised if it actually turned out to be true. Dorgan buys meat from the monster hunter. To be honest, it was only really mentioned in a wiki page that he does this. It was also mentioned that he himself goes to kill the monsters in K and comes back to Gaia, which explains why he's both in Gaia and K. Shadow Edict. Shadow Edict is an edict that is only obtainable by Raguzer himself. It was rumored that they were going to make it public along with the other 4 edicts, however, the idea was scrapped very early on. Snap Scrupus. Again, little information is known about Snap Scrupus, however, it can be assumed that it quickly brought out the sword that regular Scrupus already did. Scroll of Maledicta Terra. Maledicta Terra roughly translates to Cursed Earth. With this, we can assume that when using the scroll, it allows you to use the giant Viribuses that was seen by Lannis himself during the War of Dusk. K Old Sigil Knights. Back then, there was an old version of K Sigil Knights. They had moves that were related to the sun before this was scrapped and removed, and eventually replaced by the Sigil Knights we see today in K. Karis's whereabouts. I try to do a little bit of research when looking up who this person may be, but this may just be an inside joke. K players are the millionfold. It would not be incorrect to assume that K players are the millionfold of Rogue Lineage. This is due to the fact that a lot of players go from Gaia to K every day, that K is heavily resented by a lot of Gaia players. The Prince of Cures is a player. We all know that the Prince of Cures is a very mysterious figure in the lore of Rogue Lineage. However, we have never seen him before. This could be due to the fact that he is actually a player and he never, and I mean never, has played Rogue Lineage before. The Rift Gem enchant. We all know that you can enchant weapons with certain rubies, nightstones, etc. However, what they don't tell you is that you're able to do this with a Rift Gem for a very, very small amount of time. And what it would do is the Scroll of Ira. A lot of people don't know about this scroll as it was very well hidden. However, a few people managed to pick up on it. Ira roughly translates to anger in Latin. This would mean that it is literally called the Scroll of Anger. It was theorized that this was due to the fact that Raguzer was very angry about how toxic of a community Rogue Lineage had become, and he was originally going to take out his anger through this scroll. However, it was never released into the game. Max Insanity monsters are real ghosts haunting the game. There are a lot of similarities between the Insanity monsters in Rogue Lineage and real ghost sightings in real life. First off, the Insanity monsters resemble the name of the user, whoever is playing the game. And second off, they sit in a position that would resemble somebody being scared of something until they are triggered and scream as somebody would if they were scared by a real life ghost. The Wave -1 build. A lot of people know that D-Vulcan has, well, Wave -1. However, nobody considers the fact that Rogue Lineage may have also have this as well. After doing some research into if this was true, I would highly recommend that you do not research it, as some very, very disturbing results will come up that I cannot even share in this YouTube video. Every spell is personalized. Everyone knows that whenever they're getting spells, they always get the basic necessities first, such as Ignis, Tenebris, Sagita, etc. However, one never stops to consider the order that they get them in, and they never stop to consider why they haven't gotten a specific scroll yet. This is actually due to the fact that Rogue Lineage itself picks who gets these scrolls, and this was actually found out by... Anyway guys, that was the Rogue Lineage Iceberg Explained, done by me, Agamatsu. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I took a lot of time looking stuff up, and well, figuring things out. There will be a Manus Day giveaway at 6,000 subscribers, and I hope you guys have a nice day. Goodbye.